Hello.
Hello. First of all, I'd like to say that I too want to become a writer very, very much.
Good, good. Is there a part for me? Go on, sorry.
And do you personally feel that Gimli's character was well shown in the movies as the books show it?
Oh, that's for you to judge, not me. The truth of the matter is, Lord of the Rings is almost impossible to dramatize. I mean, if you reprise the action of Lord of the Rings, this is what happens. Things are nice, and then something unpleasant happens. And then things get a little bit worrying, and then things get worse. And then there's a disturbance, and then things actually get a lot worse. And then there's a fight. And then, well, things aren't getting any better, are they? And then there's a battle. And then things get really bad. And things get a lot worse, and there's a bigger battle. And then things get really, really bad. And, I mean, that's not a dramatic shape. And yet Peter had the obligation, both as a fan and also the obligation to all the readers, to be faithful to this enormous, intractable three-volume work. And we just had to find ways of lightening that atmosphere so that you can't have the tension ratcheting up all the time. You've got to be able to discharge the tension. And it emerged in conversation between myself and Peter that we decided that Gimli would be the discharger of all the tension, or much of the tension anyway. That there's something wonderfully, potentially comic about Gimli. And do you know what I think it is? I think the truth of the matter is he doesn't know he's small. Yeah. It never occurs to him that, you know, that he's a little chap, except possibly when he's trying to run over the mountains with an elf and the ranger himself, you know. I mean, that's the only time, because we dwarves are natural sprinters, you know. There's a sort of innocence in Gimli that I think is touching and endearing. And he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's filled with prejudice. You know, he can't stand bloody elves, you know, because you know, they're a bad lot. And when you get into the land of the elves, you know, there's a queen in that country there who is such a great witch that whoever sees her is never the same again. And of course, once he sees her, he never is the same again, because he falls completely and utterly in love with her. And that changes his whole life in a way. Remember that wonderful exchange in the boat where she gives she gives everyone their gifts, and Legolas asks what gift that she has given him, and he says, "I asked for one hair from her beautiful head. She gave me 3. And then he goes on, of course, you know, he's going to build an elaborate box for it with jewels and all that sort of stuff. It's the usual sort of dwarvish excess. Do you know, I've completely forgotten the point of this question, but I hope you've got an answer there somewhere.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, we've got an extra 10 minutes. So there we are. All right, let's see if we can get through some more of these questions. Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite actor or actress?
Who's my pick? Orlando Bloom. You know, I work with an awful lot of wonderful actors. Actors, by and large, are a lot of fun. You know, because they do a lot of reading. They have to know quite a lot about the characters that they play. They tend to be good companions. You know the typical image that you have of actors of being very jealous and backbiting and all that. That's not really true. It's a bit painful when you're a young actor and you leave drama school and one of your mates whom you don't think is terribly good suddenly gets a leading role in a film and you think, oh, he's up there, you know, doesn't deserve it. But in truth, all the guys that I was with at drama school, except for a couple of exceptions, every one of them had their little chance of stardom. And in the end, it's the fact that you're still surviving is the thing that most matters. Of the great actors and actresses, I loved Claire Bloom. I thought she was wonderful. I worked with her. My friend Julie Andrews, I think, is a terrific actress and dancer and singer. Of the younger ones, well, I'm not going to be too specific about the younger ones. Maud Adams, by the way, the wonderful, she did a couple of Bond films, didn't she? Maud is a great charmer, I loved her. Karen Allen, of course, my beloved Karen Allen from Raiders of the Lost Ark. There are dozens and dozens of wonderful people who are actors. And very rarely have I actually disliked another actor. Generally speaking, the actors that I've disliked have tended to be so hung up on their own misery that they were just not good to be around. By and large, people who take cocaine too much, or any, to be honest with you, and take drugs are boring people, and should be avoided like the plague. There's no shortcut, incidentally, for any of you here who are creative people. There's no shortcut to creativity through drugs. You know, drugs are just an excuse for not doing what you should be doing, really. Living. Sorry, beg pardon. Will that sort of answer your question?
Thank you.
All right then, all right. Come on. It looks jolly exciting anyway. Right, yes?
Hello.
Hello?
I was wondering how is to change your accent in every movie you play?
How is what?
Change your accent.
How do you change your accent? Gosh, I don't know. I suppose you I don't know, you just listen, I suppose, and work it out. The Welsh, you see, talk in a funny way like that. We're very up and down, really. And that's really how the elves sort of talk. They have that sort of music in their voices. The Irish now are a more warm-spirited sort of people like that, you see. And there's a great warmth and naturalness in the Southern Irish. The Northern Irish are quite different, because, you know, it's right back up there. And it's a tough and mean accent, the Northern Irish, though they can be very great people as well. You just, what do you do? Are you good at accents?
I don't know.
Come on, give us an accent.
I can't.
Okay. It's tough being put on the spot. There are some accents that you can do, and sometimes somebody says, "Come on, you can do that accent," and you try, and it is just awful. I've been caught out a few times. That's why I'm being very limited in my range of accents here. But, you know, sometimes you just have to practice, and some of us need more practice than others. Yeah, carry on. Hold on. Oh, come on, little one. Come on up here. I don't know what it does, but it does it anyway. Looks like something you put on a horse, like a dwarf. All right, yes.
Hi. My question is, it's good to have a sense of humor, even in the worst situations, like Chuck Norris.
What?
You know, humor is an extraordinary thing. You catch me behaving well at the moment, because obviously I want to impress you. Most of us can manage good behavior most of the time. But the real test of character is, can we behave well when we're tired and everything is falling apart and things are really going wrong? And I'm afraid I fail there constantly, whereas I'm sure you guys don't. So that's got nothing to do with the answer you were looking for whatsoever, is it? Would you care to make an observation? All right, you've lost your chance. Next person, quick.
Hello.
Yes?
I was just wondering, if you were to start all over, would you become an actor again? Or would you choose something completely different?
That's a question that you face constantly when you approach the end of your life. What would I have done differently? I would have been kinder to my wife, my first wife, who was developing a medical condition called Alzheimer's from a very early age, and I didn't understand that, and that would be one of my regrets. Would I have still been an actor? Probably, yes. I would have made myself unemployed for longer and done more writing. I really do want to do some writing. I have a few things to say now. But on the whole, I live with my mistakes. I'll accept them. And I mean, what matters in life? I think what matters in life is that we live to the full, and that's on a personal level. That is. I mean, you know, I've driven beautiful cars. I've flown aeroplanes. I've crashed in an aeroplane and walked away from it. But then I wasn't flying it. If I had been, we wouldn't have crashed. You've got to write your personal obituaries now. Write your obituary and put all the things in that you want to see in your life. You know, and don't leave children out. Children are of the real regrets I have as a person is that I didn't have more children. I should have had 10 or 12, or maybe 15, or something like that. You know, I love the noise and the smell and the passions and the disappointments and the laughter and the humour and all that sort of thing. Don't miss out on children. Whatever you do, don't miss out on children. And don't pay any attention to all that rubbish about overpopulation. The truth of the matter is, the people who are having too many children are people who shouldn't have any at all, and the people who should be having children aren't having enough. Sorry
That's
about
true.
that. That's just opinion, that's all. But yes, you know, live well, be kind, understand that it's not enough to teach your children how to live. You must also teach them how to come to terms with death as well. You've got to teach them how to die well. You know, and that means don't be frightened of death. You know, it's something that is going to happen to all of us. Just don't be worried about it. When something is unavoidable, don't worry. Don't worry.
Be happy.
And I think we're in an astonishing age. I count myself a rationalist and a skeptic. And yet, the more we know about the universe, the more astonishing the possibilities become. The friends of mine who are rather bright people and are atheists say, look, John, you know perfectly well there's no need for a God. And I think they miss the point utterly. We live in a small galaxy called the Milky Way. In our galaxy, there are between 100 and 400 billion stars. But it's not the only galaxy. In our universe, we think there are somewhere between 100 and 400 billion galaxies. And that's a little bit of a problem because that's what we see, and we know we only see about 5/6 of the universe. We are a creature that experiences 4 dimensions. We live in probably a 10-dimensional universe. We don't even see what is real around us. And then we might not even be the only universe. This theory that there are multiple universes seems to be grounded on some possible mathematical evidence. How many universes are there? How many alternate universes are there? Well, the figure I saw a few years ago was a number called 10 to the 500th power. That's a number that's bigger than all the atoms in our universe. Unfortunately, it's not enough. The new number is 10 to the 1000th power, to the 10,000th power. Now, if any of you are physicists here, you'll probably know something called a Boltzmann brain. Boltzmann was a theoretical physicist, and he said, look, that from quantum flux, an entire Volkswagen bus can suddenly appear and disappear. But equally, an intelligence could appear. And he postulated that an intelligence could actually establish itself, not just flicker in and flicker out of existence. If you have enough space and you have enough time, not only is almost anything possible, I think it's probable. And that makes the game a lot bigger than we can imagine. So, much to the annoyance of my scientific friends, and I've got a few who've got Nobel Prizes and things like that, I think not only are we on the verge of enormous discoveries in terms of the universe, I think we're on the edge of a great era of metaphysical theology. I think the scale of the universe is such that we must be prepared to consider almost everything. And to eliminate the possibility of God seems to me to be pretty stupid and pretty inadequate. Sorry, that was a really boring question.
No, that was brilliant. I really love quantum mechanics.
What?
I love quantum mechanics. I'm glad you gave the answer.
Well, very good, David. Oh dear me, I'm turning into a miserable old bugger, aren't I, really? Fire away.
You've played a lot of roles as animated characters.
Yes.
From Treebeard to roles in Gargoyles to, I don't know, roles in Tom and Jerry and stuff. Which was your favorite role? And if you could play a role in an animated production, you could choose any animated production there is and there will be, which would you like to play?
Oh, my dear fellow, thank you for your kind words anyway. Yes, I like doing cartoons, and I like doing things that my daughter will actually be able to see in a few years' time. I now have to see the world through the eyes of a 6-year-old again, and it's rather delightful. So anything my daughter would like to see, I'd like to play, is really the answer. In truth, actors don't get to choose like that. Though somebody offered me something yesterday. What the heck was it? Oh yes, does anyone know Khalil Gibran? Yes, the poet Gibran? Yes. I read it many years ago. It's rubbish, isn't it, really? Did I say that out loud? I beg your pardon, no. I'm very excited by doing that, and I think they're probably going to do that as a cartoon or something like that. We're not sure yet.